Wait till he get a belt.
Yeah.
He ain't did nothing in the welterweight today.
You
When
have
he get
did
a belt,
nothing.
when he
You
get a
have
belt,
did
you want to
You
go
have
over
did
there. Keith Thurman want to go over there, and now y'all want to say, "Oh, I ain't fought nobody," but I got a belt now, so why?
Okay. Sean Porter got a belt too.
So now
Sean Porter got a belt too. Sean Porter. So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out? So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out?
So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out? So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out?
Who mans is this? Get him the fuck out of here.
So what I do, YouTube? It's your boy King David in this thing, and I'm back at y'all again with another video. Okay, so before we get going on the video, man, y'all know what to do. Go on here, hit the like button, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe one time for your boy, so we can continue to grow like we need to grow on this channel. Y'all know what time it is, man. So yes, sir, man. Y'all see what the title of the video is, man. Terence Crawford still ain't fought nobody. You know what I mean? So you know. One of the dumbest arguments that I heard leading into the build up for this fight by a lot of the Earl Spence fans that should be holding their head down at this particular moment as they're listening to this video, right? One of the dumbest things that I heard leading up to this fight was that Terence Bud Crawford ain't fought nobody, right? You heard it over and over and over again like a broken goddamn record. Bud ain't fought nobody. Bud ain't fought nobody. Bud ain't fought nobody, right? Even though prior to Earl Spence, Terence Crawford was a 3-division, 2-time lineal, 1-time undisputed champion. But if that ain't good enough, Terence Crawford beat 6 undefeated fighters, defended his title 17 times, and beat 11 world champions, right? So, despite everything that this man has done in the sport of boxing, the narrative for the longest time was that he ain't fought nobody, right? He ain't fight nobody. That was the narrative leading into this fight, right? Even though Earl Spence, on the other hand, when you compare it, has only won 3 belts in 1 weight division, only beat 3 undefeated fighters in his career, right? As opposed to Terence Crawford 6, beat 6 world champions when compared to Terence Crawford's 11, and defended his belt 7 times as opposed to Terence Crawford's 17 times, right? Once again, yet and still, the argument leading up to this fight was that Bud ain't fight nobody, right? Bud ain't fight nobody, right? And you know, I thought long and hard about this, man. You know what I mean? Long and hard about this, you know. I couldn't figure this shit out, y'all. I couldn't figure out why these ridiculous Earl Spence fans would continue to say that Bud ain't fight nobody when clearly Bud Crawford's accomplishment and resume and accolades are far superior to that of Earl Spence's, right? Not only that, but Bud was ranked as pound for pound #1 in the sport of boxing, and Earl at no point in time was ranked on anyone's list higher than a Terence Bud Crawford, meaning his resume and accolades would have to be inferior to that of a Terence Bud Crawford. So I couldn't figure out why the Spence fanboys continued to keep saying that Bud ain't fight nobody, right? But you know what, man? After Saturday, after watching Earl Spence get the dog shit beat out of him by Terence Bud Crawford, I think I understand why the Earl Spence fans, I think I get why they say Bud ain't fight nobody. I think I get it now. I think I get it. I think I understand now. I mean, if you think about it, every single opponent that Terence Bud Crawford gets in the ring with, he beats the shit out of him, right? And then he makes it look easy, right? So what that tells the average Errol Spence fan, right, is that there's no way that these fighters could be a real threat because of how easy Bud Crawford is demolishing them, right? These fighters can't be on Bud Crawford's level to be considered a real opponent, because if that was the case, there's no way he would demolish them like that, right? There's no way these guys are a real threat. That's what these Errol Spence fans are thinking. These guys ain't no real fighters, because if they were real fighters, they wouldn't get destroyed like they do by Terence Bud Crawford, right? They not on Bud Crawford's level is what these Errol Spence fans are trying to say, right? And I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. That's what y'all trying to say. That's what it is. I understand now, right? And with that said, based on the way that Terence Crawford completely and utterly destroyed and annihilated Errol Spence Jr., there's no way that he could be the exception to the rule. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Errol Spence ain't nobody, just like everybody else on Bud Crawford's resume, right? That's the conclusion that I came to, right? Based on the rhetoric that was coming from a lot of Errol Spence fans before the fight, right? Based on that, Earl ain't nobody, so Bud really ain't fight nobody, even still to this day, right? Which is funny as hell, because this was the guy that a lot of you Errol Spence fans were picking to beat Terence Bud Crawford, which is hilarious to me, right? Because Errol Spence fits in the same category as everyone else on Terence Bud Crawford's resume, right? Errol Spence had a unified title, just like Julius Ndongo, who Bud Crawford stopped more than 5 years ago, right? So what makes Errol Spence different than Julius Ndongo, right? Errol Spence was perceived to be a tougher fight than everybody on Bud Crawford's resume. But the reality of the situation is, he was really the easiest fight on Bud Crawford's resume, right? The easiest fight on Bud Crawford's resume. And I just want to know how you Errol Spence fans feel. I just want to know how y'all feel. How do y'all feel knowing, what did y'all call him? David Avocado? How does it feel knowing that David Avocado, right, and green beans, those are the names y'all gave him, right? I'm not fucking them up, am I? How does it feel to know that David Avocado and green beans, right, put up a better fight than your guy Errol Spence Jr., right? How does it feel to know that? How does that make you feel inside is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how does that make you feel inside, right? Because the point I'm trying to make here is that if you said that Bud Crawford ain't fought nobody before, then I think we should all just keep the same energy. He still ain't fought nobody, right? Even though he was the guy that you niggas lost so much money on, and swore up and down that he would beat Bud Crawford. I mean, we should keep the same energy and contend that Bud still ain't fought nobody, right? I mean, it's only fair, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's only fair. You know what I mean? You Errol Spence fans are really in deep shit. Because based on all the dumb shit that you said prior to this fight, it's like almost like y'all can't really come back. It's going to be very hard for y'all out here on these boxing streets, right? It's going to be very hard for y'all on these boxing streets, right? It really is, bro. It really is. Because not only did David Avocado do better than your guy, Errol Spence Jr., not only did he do better than Errol Spence Jr., but how does it feel to know that your guy, Errol Spence, got his ass whooped by a guy who ain't fought nobody, right? How does that feel? How does it feel to know that Errol Spence got his ass whooped by a guy that ain't fought nobody, according to y'all, right? How does that feel? How does that make you feel? How does it feel? You know what I mean? How does it feel? And this is why I was trying to tell y'all prior to the fight. I did a video a little while ago and I was talking about how Earl Spence was planning to lose and Bud Crawford was planning to win, right? And one of the reasons why I said Bud Crawford was planning to win is because throughout the build-up of this fight, he was giving Earl Spence a lot of credit. He was saying Earl Spence is a top fighter. He was giving Earl Spence a lot of credit leading into this fight, right? A lot of credit, way more credit than I believe he even deserved, right, as a fighter, right? But it is what it is. Bud Crawford was trying to put himself in position so when he beat Earl Spence, or should I say demolish Earl Spence or annihilate Earl Spence, he would get the credit that he deserves for doing that, right? But on the other hand, Earl Spence was doing nothing but disparaging and ridiculing Terence Crawford, mainly by saying that he ain't fought nobody, right? And you Earl Spence fans, you parroted that goofy shit, right? You repeated everything that Earl Spence said. You thought it was clever. You thought it was funny, right? You hee-heed and you ha-ha'd, right? You thought it was funny. Well, here we are now, August of 2023. Saturday after Earl Spence got annihilated after Terence Bud Crawford, and you got your boy KD asking you the question, how does it feel knowing your guy got annihilated by a guy who ain't fought nobody, right? He ain't fought nobody. And then I got another question for you niggas, right? What makes Earl Spence different from all the 39 other nobodies that Bud Crawford beat on his resume, right? What makes him different, right? There ain't nothing you can point to that makes him different, right? He a unified champion, so was Ndongo. He undefeated, so was the other 6 undefeated fighters on Terence Bud Crawford resume, right? Right? And Bud ain't fight nobody then, so why did he fight anyone now, right? So all this means to your boy KD is that Earl Spence is another nobody that Bud Crawford beat, right? He's another nobody that Bud Crawford beat and made it look easy, right? Complete annihilation. Complete annihilation, y'all. Complete and utter annihilation, right? Of yet another nobody, right? On Bud Crawford's resume. You know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts, man. Hit it up in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Ain't everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit the goddamn like button on your way out. But until next time, bro, I'm gonna holla at y'all, man. Peace.
You a smart man, but not that smart.